it's Kathy from Absolutely Fabulous here in New Minas, Nova Scotia. Today I wanted to talk about mandolins. We're coming up to pickling season here in Nova Scotia. That means a lot of cutting, slicing, dicing, and there are faster ways to do it than with your knife. Now, I am a big knife fan. I use a knife for a lot of things, but if you want that nice, even cut for your cucumbers or carrots or tomatoes or onions or green peppers, anything that you might need to be cutting, a mandolin's the way to go. A mandolin is like a knife blade, very similar to that, but set into a bed. And what makes it so good is that you are not moving the knife, you're moving the vegetable. So there are several different kinds. This one is the simple handheld. I have one of these. I can do all the scalloped potatoes I need to do for a scalloped potato in probably under 2 minutes. It takes longer to peel them than it does to cut them. It works very simply. The blade is at an angle, so much like your knife would be at an angle when you're cutting, the blade is already embedded in the mandolin at an angle. And then you have a little guard that slides along, and so it's holding the food so your fingers are not near that incredibly sharp blade. This one has 3 different settings for thicknesses, and it's just a little bar here on the side that goes up and down. The handle or the safety guard clips onto the mandolin for storage, so I can put this whole thing in my drawer and not run the risk of putting my hand in and getting caught on the blade. This is the smallest, easiest to store mandolin. Then there are a couple of other choices. The next size up, or the next, I guess, grade up, is this one. It's a fairly compact mandolin. It's called the simple mandolin and has the little stand that props it up. It's fairly short and has the blade embedded, has your safety guard, and a variety of thicknesses. You can see here it will do a julienne, a thin, a medium, and a thick. That's fairly standard with any mandolin. So this one has the 4 blade settings, works the same way by sliding whatever vegetable you want to cut, slice, down the bed using the safety grip, especially as you get near the end of it, which does 2 things. You're going to get every slice you can out of that vegetable, much finer than you could with a knife, and you're protecting your fingers. So this one is all in plastic, but if you're really serious about vegetables, or you do a lot with red peppers, carrots, anything that might actually stain the white plastic on this bed, a stainless steel is where you want to go. This has a stainless steel bed. It's slightly wider. It has your adjustability here. You can see there's a lock so that the blade is down safely out of cutting position. And then you have a whole variety of different thicknesses from roughly 1 to 9 millimeters, which is really important. You also have here a little tiny waffle symbol. This mandolin has a blade that slides out, turns around, and becomes a crinkle cutter, which is really cool if you wanted to do waffle fries. It just slides back in whichever way you're going to cut, and then you're going to adjust your bed by raising it up and down. And as I do that, oops, you can actually see the bed go down or up, and it's sliding here, so I can tell how many millimeters my cut is so that I can go back and do that consistently. This one is lovely. Folds up for easy storage, so it's a little bigger. You can tell just from the size of the box that this one is larger than this, and obviously much larger than this. But if you do a lot of vegetables, if you feed a lot of people and you have to do scalloped potatoes or anything that takes a lot of slicing, this has got to be one of the easiest ways to do it. Cleanup is simple. You pull out the blade, you rinse it all in hot water and let it air dry. It shouldn't really go in the dishwasher. There's too many moving parts, so you don't want to have water pooled and have any rusting or anything like that. You want it to air dry. But a good rinse, some hot soapy water, let it air dry. Your hands stay nice and safe, your vegetables are all even, and that does make a difference when you're pickling or cooking or doing anything like that where you're needing everything to be the consistent size. So whatever you're doing with your cucumbers this year, or zucchini, or whatever's in the garden, a mandolin will help it go a long way to make that finished prep easier.